So welcome back everyone. It's been about 2 years since I last inventoried my Dreamcast collection. And, well, it's been over 2 years actually, because it was November of 2018, I believe. It's December 2002, or 2020, I'm sorry. And I thought I'd just go over everything and do something a little different than I did the last few times. This time I'm actually just going to show what was added, which I should have probably done before, because if I continue this and do get more and more games, then the videos will be longer and longer and more repetitive. So let's get to it. I've only added one literal Japanese import title. I believe this says Let's Make a Baseball Team is the name. I don't recall what the translation is, and I'm unaware of the Japanese name. I don't think I showed my Dreamcast copy of Tekken 3, and I'm not sure if I had it at that point. But I got a sealed copy off of Amazon. I'll probably open up and try it eventually. Then I know I had Choo Choo Rocket, but I don't know if I actually mentioned it at all. For cheaper games, I picked up Arrow Wings. I don't remember that in the other video. And then I think I might have actually mentioned this because it has an NFL sticker on it, so this was not in the actual original jewel case. But there's Toy Commander. Then I also picked up Rippin' Riders. It's a snowboarding game. I got that locally. I haven't tried it out yet, really, besides to make sure the disc works. And this is something I wanted to cover that I got kind of wrong in the last few videos. I have the soundtrack of Jet Set Radio. This is the reissue that includes tracks from Jet Set Radio Future that they could include. Not all the tracks from Jet Set Radio Future are there, but this is an official release. And then the copy that I thought was the official soundtrack for years is actually a Taiwanese bootleg. It's actually probably the best bootleg I've seen for a game soundtrack, and the audio quality is pretty good. Now here's the biggest addition to my collection so far in the last 2 years. I finally got a copy of House of the Dead 2. I made sure it worked, but I haven't had time to plug in a light gun to one of my CRTs and test it out fully. I also realized they had this protective case that the game store that sold it to me put it in. I'm going to get more of these for some of my more rare Dreamcast games. I don't really think about grading stuff, and I don't really consider it or find it useful, but I still want like an extra layer of protection to protect the original casing and the game itself, especially if I ever move again. So that's it as far as games go. I haven't added too much, only a few titles, and none of them are mostly that amazing, except for House of the Dead 2. And I'll go to the hardware next. Okay, so on to the hardware. I'm pretty sure I have all the hardware that I've reviewed before, and I'm just going to go over with everything else, because I don't recall if I did or not the last time. So I got a green controller along with a green VMU. I don't remember if I had that last time. I have a blue controller with a blue VMU. Then I have 3 standard controllers and then a few standard VMUs, all in varying conditions. I picked up a few rumble packs. I forget what the actual Dreamcast name for these are. I found a loose Dreamcast mic without the mic part. I don't recall if I have this red and black VMU from last time, but I have those. I still have all the Mad Catz controllers. I don't recall if I've picked up this Mad Catz light gun yet or not from the last video. I now have 2 third-party VGA cables. I don't really use them anymore since I got what's going to be up next. Now this is probably my best addition, a Dreamcast official VGA box imported from Japan. Now I do intend to make a video of this eventually, but that probably won't be till next year at this point. I bought a VMU with the case in and I took it out to use it because it was already open. There's no easy way for me to hold all of them, so I figured I'd just say that I got them. I found the Sonic Adventure keychain figures, actually at a local yard sale, which is weird because they were only in Japan. And I think the only one I'm missing is E102 Gamma. I have Sonic, I got Amy, I got Knuckles, I got Tails, I got Big, I got a Chow. Now as far as third-party stuff goes, I only got 2 things. I thought my adapter for a serial port to SD card adapter for booting games through Dreamshell was faulty, but it turns out the SD card that I was using was just kind of not formatted properly, which made no sense to me because I had it properly formatted before I put it in there and used it last time, so. And then I picked up the pound cable. This is kind of okay. It depends on what unit you use because it actually converts the VGA box signal to HDMI, and if your device can't recognize the HDMI signals, then it won't work. So it's kind of iffy. The signal kind of looks a little washed out, but for the price range, I'd say it's okay. Picked up a spare AV cable, just figured why not, it's an official one. And this is my second favorite pickup. This is an official S-video cable imported from Japan for the Dreamcast. It never came out here, and it cost me a little bit to get it. I could have swore I had it in box, but now that I think about it, it was loose. And I did make a quick video of it on the channel. The quality that's not the best, but if you want to watch it, I'll put a link below. Well, it looks like the table I chose to use this time isn't as big as the table from the last time that I did inventory. So everything's on there except for the third-party stuff, and my spare controllers, and my broken leftover Dreamcast that I have for parts. I haven't added as much as I thought in the last 2 years. Everything else in life has been kind of making me feel busy. So hopefully within the next year or so, I can find some good deals, which I doubt it. Ever since what's going on this year happened, looks like all the prices and stuff just went up. So unless I increase my income significantly, I probably won't pick up many. And also locally, there is barely anything that shows up Dreamcast-wise anymore. In fact, the one sports game that I got, I forgot to mention, I picked up at a thrift store locally, actually. And the only reason I picked it up is because it was an actual Dreamcast sports game. It wasn't like anything fancy, but actually finding one in this area is harder and harder. So until next time, I hope you guys enjoy. I'll probably do this again next year in a year or so, depending on how much stuff I find. Goodbye.